So on Sunday, March 24th, 2024, Bobrisky was arrested. The crossdresser Idris Olanrewaju Okuneye, popularly known as Bobrisky, was then sentenced to 6 months imprisonment without an option of fine for abusing the Nigerian currency. Justice Abimbola Awogboro of the Federal High Court Lagos in her sentence said the judgment will serve as a deterrent to others who are fond of abusing and mutilating the naira. Before the sentence, the judge asked Bobrisky about his sex, and he quickly replied that he is a man. He was subsequently sentenced to serve his jail term at the Ikoyi Correctional Centre. In the same vein, the EFCC also filed a similar suit on 4th of April against Igbo billionaire and socialite Cubana chief priest, and he appeared for arraignment before the trial judge Kehinde Ogundare of the Federal High Court, Lagos, on Wednesday, the 17th day of April 2024. But unlike Bobrisky, Cubana chief priest was granted bail for same crime. One was sentenced to 6 months in jail without an option of fine, while the other was granted bail. So the sentencing of Bobrisky and the bail granted to Cubana chief priest by the same court for the same reason has continued to generate controversies amongst Nigerians on social media. And in this video, we shall be telling you the reason why one court granted bail while the other was sentenced to prison without an option of fine. Trust me, it has nothing to do with tribalism. But before we begin, if you're new to our channel, you're highly welcome to Loro Emi TV, and please do also hit on that subscribe button, and do not forget to turn on the notification bell so you can always stay notified and updated whenever we upload a new video. We upload very interesting contents every day. Without further ado, let's begin. The thing is, Bobrisky admitted to committing the crime at the beginning of the hearing, while Cubana chief priest said he was not guilty, meaning the EFCC had to prove the allegation with substantial evidence. Cubana chief priest pleaded not guilty to the Economic and Financial Crime Commission allegation of abusing the naira. Therefore, the socialite has no case to answer until the EFCC can prove its allegation with substantial evidence. EFCC arraigned Cubana chief priest earlier on Wednesday, the 17th day of April 2024. Cubana chief priest pleaded not guilty to abusing and tampering with the naira. During the hearing of the trial, he was arraigned before Justice Kehinde Ogundare on 3 counts charges of naira abuse for allegedly spraying and tampering with the local currency at a social event. The EFCC noted that the allegation against Cubana chief priest was against the Central Bank Act of 2007 provision. The EFCC has to prove and establish the allegation they leveled against the socialite. Cubana chief priest pleaded not guilty and wants to join issues with the EFCC. Upon pleading not guilty, it means the onus is now on the prosecutor, that is, the EFCC, to prove beyond reasonable doubt that what they have accused him of, he truly committed the offense. Whereas Bobrisky pleaded guilty, leaving the judge with no option but to give him one of the penalties for naira mutilation, which is a jail term, while Cubana chief priest pleaded not guilty, giving the judge no other option but than to grant him bail to go home and attend court for trial. Bobrisky pleaded guilty, meaning that the court had to choose between a 50,000 naira fine and prison term, while Cubana chief priest pleaded not guilty and was released on bail of 10 million naira, simply meaning he could go home and continue to attend court for trial. In Bobrisky's case, he said, "I plead guilty, I did it, forgive me, have mercy," and he was sentenced. They could have given him a fine of 50,000 naira for being a first-timer, but the judge refused, and I think that judgment was really harsh. Cubana said, "I don't know what you're talking about. Under the law, Cubana chief priest has no case yet until EFCC is able to prove that the money he spread in those videos circulating online are Nigerian naira. There must be proof of the serial number of the money spread, and the source of the money must be known in court. At the same time, did he truly abuse the naira? Well, again, Cubana chief priest isn't forfeiting the 10 million naira to court or government. What it means when the court grant bail in the sum of 20 million, 50 million, 300,000 or 10,000 is, you see, generally bail is a contract agreement between a defendant, commonly called an accused person, and the court that the defendant will have a temporary liberty and the right to move freely pending his trial and shall appear in court throughout the trial. The agreement is normally written. The agreement is normally in written form and is called a bail bond. The bail bond normally stipulates that the defendant cannot be released until he brings a surety or someone who will assure the court that the defendant would always be in court when needed. The terms may also include a requirement that the surety must be someone who has money worth certain amount. Example, 10 million, 50 million. This, however, does not mean that the defendant shall pay the sum of 10 million or 50 million as a condition for his release. No, what it means is that if the defendant jumps the bail or fails to appear in court when required and as agreed upon in the bail bond without cogent reason, his surety shall forfeit the money. But if he appears in court all the time, the money remains his own. By reason of the foregoing, whenever you hear that someone had been granted 10 million naira bail, know that what the court means is that anyone who is to stand as a surety to the defendant must afford 10 million naira and shall forfeit the money, or the 10 million naira if the defendant jumps bail. But if he doesn't and end up winning the case, the money remains his, and he could even sue the EFCC for damages. It is that simple. The 10 million naira bail condition is not a fine. In fact, he doesn't have to pay it unless ordered by the court or where he jumps bail. Granting bail for such offence is in line with Section 36 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended. In short, Cubana chief priest may still go to prison if the EFCC is able to prove the allegation against him. But the 10 million naira would likely be given back to him if he wins the case.